Hello, my friends. As creatives, we often have big dreams, don't we? And visions of where our art and our creativity could take us. Um, but sometimes it can be quite frustrating, and you pursue these dreams, you have faith in God, but sometimes it can be quite lonely and challenging journey, can't it? And that's why community is so important. Um, Doing it alone, you're less likely to achieve success. So why do it alone when we have a brilliant membership called Creators Arise that you could join, where you don't have to remain alone. We understand the challenge. We understand the importance of having a supportive community of like-minded creators around you. It's really important. Makes so much difference, as our members will tell you. Um, just being amongst other creators who actually understand you and get you is a huge plus. And often, as creators, we are often our own worst enemies, aren't we? Self sabotage, negative talk. Um, but when we're surrounded by others, we can get a bit of a perspective, can't we? And others can speak into our lives and help us, overcome some of this self sabotage that we often do. We just lack of self belief and not knowing really who we are. Often that's because other people have spoken negatively over us, whether it's our parents or other just other people around us. So in our community, in the Creators Arise community, we encourage one of the things we really encourage is prophecy, the gift of prophecy, because it's a powerful way of encouraging people and building them up. And we do that quite regularly in a sort of we do it in a particular way, which we call Spotlight, where one person takes the seat and everybody else gets to speak encouraging words over them and affirm them. No, we are not unrealistic in this as well, because we do training as well. So it's not just about the positive all the time and ignoring maybe some of the weaknesses, because in a community you'll soon find out where you need to change as well and where you need to improve. Now, I'm not saying our community are critical or anything like that. What I'm saying is basically, often we get perspective when we're in a group, don't we? And we find out where we fit in as well, and where our creativity fits in, where our art fits in. One of the things we do is what's called passion and purpose, which I'm really excited about, because I really believe as artists and creatives, we're not created to walk alone. We're not created to do this mountain climb all by ourselves. We're called to do it together. There's God has given us others, and maybe Creatives Arise could be your family. Within Creatives Arise, we have a culture of honor. That's what we call it, and basically, we aim to give everybody a voice. We aim to honor everybody, whether you're a hobbyist or you're a professional artist. We aim to make everybody feel that part of the Zoom calls, which we do regularly. So we do two Zoom calls a week. We do one on the Monday, which we have basically it's to teaching. We have breakout rooms. We discuss practical subjects. We do spiritual subjects. And we also pray on a Friday. We have a prayer meeting on a Friday, so that's nearly 3 hours a week, actually. But that regularity, that discipline, helps people, because you need things like this in your life to really grow. The trouble is, when you do it alone, you always say, "Well, I'm going to do this and I'll do that," But actually, the reality is, when we're trying to do things alone, often we just don't do it, do we? And we need the encouragement and motivation sometimes of others to say, "Come on, go for it." Often we give up, and so there's a bit of accountability really when you're in a group as well. People get to know you, and you know your struggles. And we have a brilliant prayer thing that goes on Messenger on Facebook. So people are praying all the time for each other. So building relationship. We need relationship, don't we? We need to feel part of something. We need to feel part of the family. And Creators Arise could be that for you. We've got artists of all different persuasions. Got musicians. I'm a composer. My wife's an artist. We've got different, we've got some professional artists, some who are doing really well actually going out in the community. Others, we've got photographers, abstract artists, realist artists, artists from Canada, the US, and the UK, and France. And so, we're a very diverse group, but we all get on. And so if that interests you, well, you can find out a bit about us if you just apply at www.creatorsarise.com. You can fill in the form there and you can apply. And Fran and I will do a Zoom with you, so we can have a face-to-face chat. You can see if you get on, and if you've got any questions, you can ask them. But this is we aimed for this to be a Holy Spirit-led community, and we do as much practical stuff as we do spiritual stuff, because we believe that God doesn't make a difference. He's just interested in your practical life, your spiritual life. There's no difference. And I believe that our creators are thriving because of being in community. That's one. We offer lots of other things as well, but this video really is about community. But I believe this is probably the biggest key for creatives, because so many I see want to do it alone, and they won't. It's very rare for them to succeed when you do it alone. You just haven't got the experience. There's too many challenges. Yeah, you've got great creativity and great art, but you need to learn some of the other things like marketing, and often there's not confidence. One of the things we do in the community is try and build your confidence by getting you to do what we call a showcase, where you actually show 3 pieces of your art and do it in the community. So you do it in a small group to get in confidence. What else can I say, really? I think if you don't, if you're creative and not in community, I suggest you really think seriously about creatorsarise.com. So anyway, thanks for watching.